Hi everyone, welcome to Abuse on Men, the channel that helps men who are going through abuse, who have just got out of abuse, also for women as well, and for anyone that suffers abuse. I hope these videos are helpful and raise awareness. This video is about it's an interesting video. It's one that is maybe a little bit controversial, but it's basically about my issues that attract abusers. We always talk about how it's very easy for anyone to get into abuse. It's been 2 years since I left my abusive relationship, but I think what I've learned in that time, there's a lot that I've learned, but particularly is that while it's very easy for anyone to get into it, some people are much more likely to get into it based on their own personality and characteristics. And I'm gonna talk about 9 issues, I guess, that I have that make me more likely to attract abusers, which I'm working on and trying to resolve myself. So I think the first thing is that I am a people pleaser. I think I always have been. Always, in my earliest memories, when helping my sister turn the bedroom light on in her bedroom whenever she would scream to turn on the light, I would go and do it. I would help her. I don't know why I'm a people pleaser. I don't know why I'm always trying to help other people. But this is a really big, major thing for abusers to look for. Basically, when I met my abuser, she would, in the first date, she told me how she got into an argument with her mum, and that, and basically leaving these breadcrumbs to see if I would say, oh, what's the issue? How can I help? And those breadcrumbs she's trying to pick up to see who would help her. And then basically the whole relationship is me helping her and she being the victim. So as a people pleaser, it's definitely something I'm super aware of now, and whenever new people ask me for help, I almost always say no. Not because I don't want to, but because I'm protecting myself and I don't need to get into that with strangers, basically. Complete strangers that I never will see again, I help. But people that might become friends or things like this, I don't. Number 2 is that not only do I always want to help others, but I also avoid arguments. And I'm always putting other people's needs before my own. And I get my self-worth from this. So I feel good when, not only when I help others, but when I put their needs before my own. In everything I do, I always think, like, in the way entrepreneurial, like, how can I add value? How can I help others with whatever I do? And by putting other people's needs before my own, it's a big problem, because I don't do what I want to do, and because I take my self-worth from that, it actually magnifies that problem, because it actually makes me feel good when I don't do what I want to do. And as you can imagine, this is like honey for an abuser, because an abuser basically wants control over everything. So her therapist literally said to me, you need to take your happiness from her happiness. Do whatever makes her happy and be happy from that. And that is exactly the problem. I almost do that anyway. And so this is a big thing that I'm learning not to do, and to put my needs first, and being okay with the fact that someone else doesn't agree with that, and maybe I'll have an argument about it. So this is something I'm learning. Number 3 is standing up for myself, even if it will end the relationship. So many times in the relationship, I was basically told, if you do this, it's over. And so I would say, well, look, I don't want it to be over, so it's okay. I will flex because I can flex. So, if we don't need to talk about money anymore and I need to pay for everything, then I'll do that because I don't want the relationship to be over. If she gets mad and basically packs up her stuff and goes outside and basically waits long enough for me to come down and feel guilty and say, look, I'm really sorry, it's my fault, I don't want you to leave, then again, I'm not standing up for myself. So many times I should have just said, you know what, this isn't working, this isn't right, this isn't good, and if you feel that you need to leave over this, then that's what you need to do. And yes, the relationship will end. So I need to be much stronger in standing up for myself and not afraid if things don't work out because of it. Because I've learned that it's better to be in a good relationship than one where you're doing everything you can to keep it. And basically, being abused, really. Number 4 is, I was told all the time it's all about me and I'm being selfish and I do nothing for her and she does everything for me. Again, that's about... that's a tricky one because yes, it's self-awareness to know in the moment. I do tons for her, and she didn't actually do much for me at all, really. But understanding and having confidence in myself and what I do, and I kind of guess it's linked to the previous one, is just standing up for myself and basically not believing the lies and understanding the truth and the facts. Number 5, I think it's linked to a few others. It's basically comes from doubting my self-worth, that my value and worth comes from other people, whether I'm helping them, whether I want to be in a relationship with them, whether I don't know, want them to come, I don't even know, but basically, I get my value or feeling good from external things and not from internal things. So I'm working very hard now on understanding that I have a lot of value and I'm a lot of value to as I am. And I don't need to do loads of other things. And I don't need to pay for things and help people and all of these external things. I'm of value myself, and my worth doesn't diminish if someone has an argument with me, if someone tells me something negative, if someone rejects me. It doesn't diminish my worth. It only, it only means that whatever they're saying isn't right for me, but it doesn't mean that I'm not right. The next one, number 6, is, I guess I touched on it before a little bit, but curing the belief that I need to rescue others and I don't need to do it anymore. So throughout the relationship, there was a running theme where I wanted to help her I wanted to rescue her. I wanted to, I just saw what an amazing person she could be, and I wanted her to help her get there, and for us, and for me. But I, linked to this theme of helping, it's not my job to rescue other people, and there's no guarantee they can be rescued either. And I don't need to do it anymore. When I see situations where people need to be rescued, again, strangers is different, and good friends is different, but people that are, if it's a recurring theme or they're a new friend, I don't need to rescue them. They're going to have plenty of other people out there who can help them, and getting into that pattern of rescuing, again, it's kind of like brings me back to the question of why do I feel the need to do it, and my value is based on that, and then we go into a dynamic of them always needing help. Okay, number 7 is too preoccupied and with making sure I'm being reasonable and seeing things from different angles. So throughout the relationship, I was always sort of told, why did you do this? Why did you do that? How could you think like this? Doesn't make sense. No one's ever treated her like this before. And then your mind goes into, okay, maybe they're right. Is it? Maybe I am being unreasonable. Maybe she does have a point. And then you start thinking a lot about, is it reasonable to do this? And is it okay? And is it not? And you basically trying to see things from different angles and see it from her side, and that she has a loan and she can't afford things, and that she had a bad upbringing, and that she had, her friends don't like her, or her boss is mean to her, or she means well, or she goes to a therapist, and all these excuses, and you see it from all these different angles, and then you start to think, okay, yeah, maybe, I don't know what it's like to be in her situation, so maybe it is reasonable what she's saying, and maybe I am actually being unreasonable, because a reasonable person wouldn't say I'm being unreasonable if I wasn't unreasonable, right? So basically, I'm learning to not overthink things, not see things too much from other angles, not seeing if I'm being reasonable or not. It's my nature to see things in these ways, but I need to stop. And I need to pause, and I need to be aware. And if you're someone who's likely to try and see things in different angles, you're also very susceptible to this. Number 8 is the issue isn't that I missed something, but rather I second guess myself in situations others wouldn't tolerate. So in all of these, I don't know how many videos you've watched, but in all of my relationship, there were so many things that were wrong, so many things that were toxic, so many things that were abusive, and I knew it. I knew it on the spot that it wasn't right. I knew in the first argument we had in the car after 3 weeks, when she went mad at me about nothing. I knew it was about nothing, and it was ridiculous, that argument. And I basically second guessed myself and said, you know what? Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe it's something. Maybe there's some truth somewhere, I don't know. And I can imagine, I feel I can imagine a lot of people in that situation fighting back or just saying, I'm sorry, this makes no sense. I don't think this is working. Let's end this here. And this is basically not second guessing myself and not tolerating when I know things are not right. And I think this is probably one of the hardest things for me to really use or to do, because sometimes I really want something and I really want things to go well and I want to overlook it and I want to believe them and I want to say, well, it's a one-off. But I need to basically not second guess myself. And if I feel something is wrong, then I need to go with that, unless they prove otherwise, like on the spot, and just say and apologise or something. Number 9 is, and this is the final one, that I deserve to be in a relationship where my needs are met too, and I don't need to feel guilty or that I will lose people by saying my needs or causing conflict. So in a lot of relationships, I don't know if it's with friends so much, probably actually also with friends, I don't say my needs because I don't want to lose them as friends or cause conflict. Luckily, nearly all of my friends are great and they don't abuse this. But if I feel guilty with saying my needs or causing conflict, then an abuser will latch onto that and basically have a field day because they want their needs first all the time. And it's so easy for them to make me feel guilty, because I can make myself feel guilty when I say, actually, I want to do this. And I'm willing to have a conflict about it. And I think this is, again, something that I need to work on, that I am aware of, and standing up for myself more. So it's a slightly unusual video, this one. I think it's a very positive video because it's really taking back power and control of myself and not being the victim of abuse, but actually understanding my flaws and my weaknesses and saying, through my personality, I was more susceptible to it because there were a lot of things in my character that enabled it. This is my top things of how I'm changing to make myself stronger as a person, to stop myself from getting into that situation again. Not saying that if you don't have any of this, you're not going to get abused. It's not true at all, unfortunately. There is actually, I'll touch on one other thing. There was I think the overriding theme of all of this is that there is how would you say, if you're not complete in yourself, if you're not fulfilled with yourself, if you don't feel that you're fully valuable as an individual, that you're happy as an individual, that you don't need someone in your life to be your best version of yourself. If you feel complete as an individual, then you won't tolerate these abusive patterns. When people are love bombing and saying, oh, you're amazing and you're this and you're that, if you already think you're amazing, if you already think you're great, then someone that will hear that will think, well, hold on, that sounds a bit weird. Why does she keep saying that? Whereas if someone felt that they didn't, that they weren't really amazing, then they would and if that's what they need from someone to say that to them, then they very much get drawn to that, and they get drawn to that person. So whatever the abuser is very good at latching on to what you need and basically giving you that in a very exaggerated, generous way. And so by being complete in yourself and fulfilled in yourself and understanding where your weaknesses are and what you get drawn to will help you to work on that, and equally to be much more aware of it when an abusive person is trying to use that to get close to you. So, a lot to think about today. This video took me a long time to think through and to really understand myself as well. I hope it's of help to you. I don't know if some of these are relatable or not, but I really hope it helps to raise awareness. Please tell me in the comments what you think, and please feel free to share to others who you think might need it, or just generally to raise awareness about abuse and how we can protect ourselves from an abusive relationship, whether in our lives, and how we can be stronger as individuals so that we don't get drawn into it. Thank you very much, and take care.